Do it now, and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text REP to 42424. That's REP to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is Paul Feinbaum. That'll do it for me today. Coming up next, The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Countdown to the 2025 Trash Panda season is on. Tickets are available for the full 2025 home schedule, including opening night on Friday, April 4th. But it doesn't end there. The Trash Panda season opens with 9 home games in 10 days, featuring theme nights, giveaways, fireworks, and more. This opening homestand has it all. For more information, check us out online at trashpandasbaseball.com.
Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock-solid, dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well-trained to save you time and money. And because we want your business again and again, no one will work harder to earn it. Our mobile service teams come to your home or business for oil changes, brake work, tire rotations, and more. And the great thing is you don't pay extra for it. We come to you with mobile service at no extra charge. Proud to be local, family-owned, and at your service for over 62 years. Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
The Bass Pro Shops Red Crest Championship Outdoor Expo will be at the Von Braun Center April 4th, 5th, and 6th in conjunction with the MLF Red Crest Championship on Lake Guntersville. The Outdoor Expo will be open from 11 to 6:30 daily, and the first 200 kids 14 and under on Saturday will receive a free Abu Garcia rod and reel, courtesy of WHNT News 19. There will be hourly giveaways, tackle and boat deals, seminars, and a chance to meet the pros. And it's free of charge. The Bass Pro Shops Red Crest Championship Outdoor Expo, April 4th through 6th at the BBC.
I'm here with Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. With the temperatures going up and temperatures going down right now, now is a good time to get your heating and air system looked at. Thomas, when somebody calls, you guys answer.
That's right. The phones are staffed by us. They're manned 24/7. We're ready to come out and take care of you that day.
How do they give you guys a call?
You give us a call at 256-503-4490.
And you can find you guys on the World Wide Web at
talenthvac.com.
And now is a good time to do this because you guys are offering a special deal.
That's right. We're doing $49 tune-ups this spring. We're also doing free second opinions. We offer that year-round. Somebody comes out, they say you got a bad compressor, leaking refrigerant. Give us a call, see if we can save you some money.
Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. Thomas, one more time, that phone number.
256-503-4490. AL certain number 21014.
Thank you for making us your number one choice for sports talk in North Alabama.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone. WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. This hour is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
Live here at Baumhower's Victory Grille.
Good to be back. A big thank you to Drew DeArmond for guest hosting yesterday. Thank you, Drew.
We had fun yesterday.
Yeah, he was telling me right before that I had the day off.
Yeah,
and I didn't know that I had the day off.
Well, last night was your anniversary. I figured you had weak legs.
Hey.
Good night, everybody.
Haley, that is Wes Neighbors right there.
Happy anniversary to you and Haley.
Thank you. Anyway, a lot to get into, including prediction time from one Urban Meyer as their podcast dropped today. A lot of discussion around the Texas Longhorns coming off a 13-3 campaign. We'll hear from Coach Urban Meyer, as well as a former Alabama running back who's also on that triple podcast, whatever they call it, triple option podcast, I think is what it's called there from the boys at Fox. Then Kirby Smart yesterday. He was asked about several things that kind of set him off.
But the hard cap 105, I assume, is going to be in play by the fall. What is that doing to you guys' process even right now? Because, I'm sure you're going to have to get under the number. And what kind of difficulties is that going to do to how you guys practice around here?
Yeah, that's up in the air. I'm not sure 100% that we have to get to 105 by fall camp. As we understand it, it's going to be by the first game, which is a big difference. So we would be able to practice camp like we want to. I think everybody's got to take a big pause right now and say deep breath, because of what's going on with the basketball right now is crazy. And we don't know everything that's going to come out with April 7th, which might be April 7th. We might be the settlement date where we get a lot more information. But, everybody's on pins and needles because we don't know exactly what's going to come out of this. What I do know is that we're going to continue to recruit people who love football, who are passionate about football, and that don't put money as the number one answer. Like, I've never met a really good player that's all they cared about. So, like, the 105 number, the NIL number, what's the cap number? What is this going to be? There's stuff going on right now, guys, in college football. I mean, there's people reaching out to have a Zoom call and present all the players they represent that are on teams, including our teams. And they want to invite people to the Zoom so they can watch and see who's going in the portal or shopping who's in the portal before the portal. Do you want to get on the Zoom and look at all these players? I'm like, well, what if some of them are mine? I mean, it could be one of the most legendary, moments in all of college sports with what's coming up on this ruling and how people are going to try to manipulate a cap when all we're trying to do is make for competitive balance. And it's really unfortunate that I don't know if competitive balance is going to come out of it. I don't know if the kids win in this model that we currently have, if they win long-term. Like long-term, when we have to cut sports and cut other things, are the kids going to be the winners of this? I don't know. College sports been around a long time and given many an opportunity. And by all means, I want these kids to make money. But what's going on right now is not good for them.
Ben's 100% right. It's the same thing I say every day on the station. It's out of control, and in 5 years, or maybe not in 5 years, we'll start seeing the fallout of this, and it won't be good. People won't have their degrees. They would normally have their degrees. The money will be gone. It'll all be stolen, and they'll be, looking for work. And having lived the high life, it's hard to go back to the
reality.
Reality, and you don't have a college education, and so it's your chance of getting a high-paying job goes down significantly. I mean, and you either you have to start over, like somebody coming out of high school to learn a trade.
Yeah,
I mean, one of the two,
I've got two other sound bites from Kirby Smart yesterday. This one, I think we all assume kids may go into a head coach and ask a question of, what am I worth, basically, if you're a high-level athlete. I don't know if it's like this. I mean, Kirby kind of, I'll let you listen to the question and the answer.
The NIL type question, Coach. I don't know if you've got any examples. I'm not asking for specific names or anything of kids, recruits coming on your campus and say, hey, look, I've got an offer from so-and-so school. Would you match that or surpass that for me to sign with Georgia?
No, nobody does that. I think they want that. Okay. Deep down inside, that might be in their back of their mind. And ultimately, that's the goal of it's human nature. I think players have value and they should be rewarded for that value. But at the expense of what? At the expense of us having 3 or 4 sports that can't do anything and support anything. So because they get the television revenue and because they raise it, should they get first dibs on all that and let's not have other sports? I don't think that's right. And there's a balance to be had. But no, I don't think kids come and I don't have kids come in. If they come in and say that, then I'm going to listen to them and talk to them, but I'm scratching them off the list. I'm over that, because if that's all that matters, then you need to send out a bid like they do for jobs and say, supplement your bid. That'll let me take visits and just I'm going to go to the bid and go to the highest bidder. That's I really believe there still does matter a relationship. And if relationship doesn't matter, then I'm probably not going to have a kid that wants to play hard for Georgia. Right. So relationship matters. Work ethic matters. Do you like want to be great? Do you have fire, passion, and energy? I'll pay for that. I'll pay a premium for fire, passion, and energy, because in the market we're in, there's a lack of that. Kids are going to struggle the next 10 years when they look back and somebody says, I'm going to go back, introspect, I'm going to look at this and say, what happened to the kids that went to 2 and 3 and 4 places? I will assure you, we will not be happy with where those kids that jump for greener grass went to. And I think the portal's a good thing for a lot of kids that are 3rd, 4th, 5th year, but it also gives you a way out that I don't think is good for kids right now.
I think that's kind of what I've been saying.
I'm just telling you, but it's nice to hear it from Kirby Smart.
Well, you didn't like it when I said it?
Well, no, you're not a sitting head coach of an SEC school.
No, I'm not.
So that's why I'm going there.
Everything he's saying is absolutely 100% correct.
You can hear the nerves though, talking about that house settlement coming up. And
I mean, that's always been. So if they have to cut college sports, you watch how fast when after the Olympics and these next coming Olympics, and the U.S. wins about half of what they normally win. Wait till you see what happens. That's what's going to
2028 in Los Angeles is coming up.
Yeah. So what happens is basically all the training, all this is doing. Football and basketball has been paying for all that training for the last
a lot of it,
last 100 years.
Well, there was some Olympic news that came out yesterday. Roger Goodell spoke to the media yesterday. I didn't know if you're aware, but there is a professional flag football league coming.
Can't wait. Heck, you can watch the Pac.
I was about to say,
still 3 teams left in the Pac-12. You can watch that out there. It comes on really late. You want to stay up and watch it.
I would argue that there is already a professional flag football league.
Yes.
Multiple professional flag football leagues. But Tush Push has been tabled as well from the National Football League.
I like the Tush Push. That's where you're supposed to come off the ball.
Here is I lovingly is how I would remark how Wes Neighbors talks about Roger Goodell. He is just the best commissioner of all the professional sports. Here is Roger Goodell from yesterday.
Yeah, listen, the discussion on the Tush Push was very good. It was, we showed a lot of data, a lot of questions from the clubs, a lot of discussion about it. I think there are safety issues that are being considered in that case. We have very little data from it, but it's beyond data. There's also, there's the mechanism of injury that we study, that type of thing that leads us to show the risk involved with a particular play or particular tackle. So those are things that we did discuss. I do think there's a lot of discussion about going back to the previous rule, back to pre-2004. It's a dispute about how long that rule was in play, but the reality of it is I think that's makes a lot of sense in many ways, because I think it expands it beyond just that single play. There are a lot of plays where you see someone pulling or pushing somebody that are not in the tush-push formation that I think do have an increased risk of injury. And so I think the committee will look at that and come back in May with some proposals.
So my favorite part of the news that came out yesterday around the National Football League is the fact that there is a push for eliminating the tush push, but they're moving back the kickoff to encourage more kickoffs.
Well,
do you see the joke in there?
Well, first of all,
come on now.
Yeah, I know. So I couldn't watch the NFL game last year. I turned my head.
Oh, no. I'm not saying I liked the new kickoff. I didn't. I mean, I said as much as well, but Mike Florio put it best this morning on his morning talk show.
We're so concerned about the safety of the tush push, which has been around for 3 years, and there's no evidence it's not safe. Meanwhile, we're going to have a dramatic increase in these kickoff returns with this new formation where even though you don't have the catastrophic injury potential with two guys going full speed coming at each other 30 yards apart, you still get guys ear-holed in short yardage and kickers blown up, and that's not even a conversation. It's just a weird dichotomy right now.
One way to put it, I guess. Mike Florio.
Nothing funner than hitting a kicker. I think they have a contest like back in the day when everybody, what was that? They'd run they go to Miami and they had all they race. And what was that? They do all the different sports. Like when O.J. Simpson and them play, the
ABC thing. The All-Star.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
And one of the things they should have is try to blow up a kicker. I would have loved to see that.
You'd get a gold medal every time.
I was good at it.
We'll also hear from Urban Meyer. There was also some questions to Roger Goodell. There is also, even though they're trying to eliminate the tush push, they are pushing for 18 regular season games, are the National Football League owners. And Florio combated that with, where did I put it? Why not 20?
Will the NFL wait until the current CBA expires in March of 2031, lock the players out until they cry uncle on an 18th game, and then get whatever deal the NFL has put on the table? Because we know what will happen. The players are never going to take the nuclear option. The owners will. So to get to 18 before 2031, what will the union want? And what can the union get? And a year ago, Lloyd Howell, the fairly new NFLPA executive director, was interviewed by, I believe, the Washington Post, possibly the Athletic. And when he was asked about 18 games, he said, who doesn't want more football? And it was a horrible negotiating posture. He has since backtracked. I don't know if you could put that toothpaste back in the tube, but in February, Dan, he adopted a more no way in hell posture, which is what you need to start from in order to get the best possible deal for the players, if it's going to happen. And I think the year to watch is 2029. That's when, and really it's after 29 when the CBA, not the CBA expires, but the TV deals are up for grabs. But, they could do it. They can do it whenever they want. The union and the league could come to an agreement on 18 games today if they wanted to. The question is, what can the players get? And you're right, more roster spots, maybe a little larger piece of the pie, just basically anything else you want. If the league wants to get to 18 now, ask for everything. Hell, I've even suggested in the past, somewhat jokingly, go ahead and offer 20 games because we know we're going to get to 20 games one of these days. 20 games and no preseason games, and ask for everything now. Let's go ahead. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Let's do 20, and here's the list of everything we'd want to go to 20.
Here we go.
Yeah, they're going to have 200 people in camp.
Otherwise known as a Bear Bryant special right there,
You know,
right?
the playoffs would be like playing 2 seasons. Yeah.
Bo Butler is here with us at Baumhower's Victory Grill. How are you, Bo?
I'm doing well. I'm glad to be here on the backside of your honeymoon. Conversation of a tush push and Wes on his A game.
I was hoping you could catch that as well. Yeah, I was hoping you'd catch that. But appreciate the kind remarks there. But what's going on at Southland?
Well, real estate is, we need inventory on the market. There's a lot of listings out there, but some of those listings have been there a while.
The portal is thin, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, I'd like to see some more. So there's still it's still a good time to look at property. Foliage is still down before everything greens out. So, if you're thinking about listing your property or want to have that conversation, I'd love to hear from you, and we can talk about that.
Bo knows real estate.
Hey, Bo knows land.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, Wes.
That's close.
Yeah. Yeah. He was in the neighborhood, right?
That's it.
I was knocking on the door anyway.
You were on your A game until that.
Yeah, I know. Fall fast. No, but talk about, because that's surprising to me when you said that earlier, that you're looking, there's, because everywhere else is kind of slowed down. But obviously land sales have not slowed down.
They've slowed a little. Yes. I mean, they truly have, but at the same time, we're still moving a lot of smaller parcels, and I still have people in a book full of folks that are looking for larger parcels. They just can't find what's, they're not necessarily happy with what's out there, that they've looked at or they've seen on the internet. And I find a lot of parcels off market or something, just, cold calling a landowner and would you consider, the answer is no until you call. So, if you call and they want to, have that conversation, then, with real estate market today, they don't know what they have for the most part. And, there are people that are willing to give it. So, there's still folks looking but yeah, overall, I think it has slowed just a little bit. Interesting, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday last week for me picked up, greatly. And so it that's nice to see. So hopefully we can carry that through.
How do folks get in contact with you, Bo?
Easiest way to do is to give me a call, 256-609-0512. Listen to my ad on the radio. You can catch my phone number there also.
Outstanding. It's always great to see you, Bo.
Well, appreciate it. Also, real quick, turkey season. Everybody have a safe turkey season. Take somebody new turkey hunting if you can, and make the best of it. Thank y'all.
How did your bracket go?
Well, I will be honest. I don't make a bracket. I don't fill one out. I do enjoy March Madness. I was hoping for a Cinderella team somewhere in there to spoil.
Yeah.
Just kind of have a good story. The Final Four is a good one. And I'm a little torn on Auburn and Florida. I think Duke is going to beat Houston. And I kind of feel like Auburn's going to have a revenge game against Florida. But Florida's playing really good ball.
It's going to be a great game.
So, yeah, I look forward to watching. They're going to be good. In the women's side.
Friday.
And that's been exciting to watch, too.
Yeah, the Cinderella that is UConn, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
The Cinderella that's UConn.
I think he 12 titles and 24 trips or something.
Yeah, Gino,
yeah. But good March Madness.
We'll hear from Todd Golden as well as Mike Krzyzewski as well. Coming up on the other side of our first time out, we're live here from Baumhower's Victory Grill, and we'll hear from Mick Hedgesmith at the top of the next hour.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock-solid, dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well trained to save you time and money. And because we want your business again and again, no one will work harder to earn it. Our mobile service teams come to your home or business for oil changes, brake work, tire rotations, and more. And the great thing is you don't pay extra for it. We come to you with mobile service at no extra charge. Proud to be local, family-owned, and at your service for over 62 years. Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore.
Would you call a plumber for a root canal? The same goes for selling your timberland or farm. Choose someone who understands your property and can help you on the front end so you can capitalize on the back end. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction. As a guide, I have put many hunters in position to take a shot. It's time for you to take your shot. Let's talk about putting you in position to sell your property. Call me at 256-609-0512. Remember, Bo knows land.
Hey there, Bob Baumhower again. March Madness is here, and it's time to hoop it up at Baumhower's Victory Grill with our Slam Dunk specials. It's nothing but net with a pound of our world-famous wings. Tip it off with our party-ready trays, including traditional wings, buttermilk fried chicken tenders, and hot lips, to name a few. Want a cold beer with those wings? How about $7.99 pitchers of Yingling served all day, 7 days a week? Break out those brackets and bring the gang to the best watch party place in town, Baumhower's Victory Grill, the true king of wings.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games. And if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title. Because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
Rocket City, for air that's cool and clean, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Get HVAC smart with Professor Green and the expert team at sensagreen.com. Now offering up to $1,500 off any new Bryant system. Whatever it takes, Sensa Green has Huntsville covered. Remember, folks, with innovative, sensible green solutions, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
This segment of The Drive is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, located online at woodyAndersonFord.com with 2 locations, Hughes Road in Madison and Jordan Lane in Huntsville.
This a long time. Final Four set up for this weekend, and we've at least seen one of these matchups already as Florida down Auburn 90-81 down in Neville Arena back on February the 8th. Coach Todd Golden.
I got a lot of love for Bruce and his son Steven. They're great friends of mine. Bruce is one of my biggest mentors and, gave me a great opportunity back in 2014 to come down to Auburn and be a part of his first staff and getting that program rebuilt. And I learned a ton from him. And, I feel like the pressure's off us a little bit, me being the mentee, being the younger guy, coming into this ball game. And, our group being probably a little ahead of schedule here at Florida, being in year 3, Bruce has done an incredible job there, getting that program back to their second Final Four in 5 years. It's going to be an incredible game. Obviously, we should have a little bit of confidence going into that game after beating them on their home floor, back in early February. But that was a long time ago, and both of our teams are a lot different now than they were at that point. But, it's an awesome opportunity. Obviously, you don't ever want to compete against people that you love, but at the same time, when a trip to the national championships on the line, I think both of us will be all right going into this ball game.
That is Todd Golden, as his Gators are a 2.5-point favorite against the Auburn Tigers. And again, you'll be able to hear that game right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. The other matchup, the Duke Blue Devils taking on Houston on the other side. And Duke, I didn't know how good Duke was, honestly. And I know you may be looking at WZZN TV funny or your radio funny, but the ACC was bad this year. And I think the tournament has proven that as well. I really didn't know how good Duke was. They're a 5.5-point favorite against Houston, but Mike Krzyzewski has big things to say about this team as they head to San Antonio.
Their parents, they come from not just good families, great. I mean, you come from a great family, but not necessarily that's knowledgeable about the game of basketball. Their parents are really knowledgeable and are tough competitors, and they want Cooper and Kahn to be coached hard. That doesn't mean yelled at all the time or whatever, but held accountable. Both these kids understand accountability, and they understand showing up every day to work. That comes from their family. In college basketball, you have to say that those two are as hard working as any youngsters playing. I mean, they play every play hard. And then it's not about them because of being with a family from great families. They're unselfish. They're good about someone else being good. And Cooper has been amazing with that. His support of his teammates while he's getting what he gets and what he should get has been remarkable. But really, that helps John Shire and his staff so much because they build on that. You try to recruit great kids and great players. Boy, we hit the jackpot with these two guys.
He is talking about Knipple and Cooper Flagg is Coach Mike Krzyzewski there on Sirius
Knipple
XM.
may be the most improved player in the country.
Very well may be.
I thought Alabama did a good job against Cooper Flagg. I think that Grant Nelson made some money in that game.
Sure did. Yeah.
But Knipple, we didn't have he just abused everybody they put on him the whole game. If he wasn't making the play, he was setting it up. He played unbelievable. And he's 6'6", and he's a guard.
Yeah. Other news and notes about this Final Four. We all know it's the second time in the history of the Final Four since it's been expanded multiple times since the mid-'80s, where 2008 was the only other time. That 2008 was also in San Antonio. This is the fifth time the SEC has sent multiple schools to the Final Four. First time since 2014. The conference won the title 3 of the previous 4 times in 94, 96, and 06. So, again, kudos to the SEC. This is the 6th time in the last 50 years that Houston will play in the Final Four, but still looking for their first title are the Cougs. And they've got themselves.
I thought after watching, and I didn't watch the Tennessee game because I saw the score and why. If they were getting killed, they scored 15 points at halftime. Unfortunately, had a really bad game. So I'm saying this, I'm prefacing this. I thought Alabama was obviously they beat Auburn at home. I thought that was an unbelievable performance.
I was in Neville.
Yeah, but I didn't. I think that Alabama had to play like they did the game before. And of course, we've had people on explain why that would have. They played better defense. They played different the way.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is, I believe Alabama. I think they played Florida 10 times.
Maybe once. Yeah.
They just match up with them.
It's a bad matchup.
It is, and I think Duke's the same. But Houston and Auburn. I mean, obviously Alabama beat. But I just don't give Houston a chance to win. Maybe they'll win. That's why they'll win it all. I think that the winner's going to come from one of the other three teams. And I have Florida.
Yeah.
You know,
I've got Houston.
Yeah, I know you do. And then
oh, do you?
Yeah. But I wouldn't be surprised if Duke won it.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
But you know, I think Auburn has long as Broom can walk on that floor.
It's hard for me to think that he's going to be how he needs to be against Florida. I hope I'm wrong.
But, you know, he does so much with
even with one arm.
Yeah, I mean, look what he did in the game.
I know. You know,
yeah. So
shooting threes, making them, coming back with one arm.
Yeah.
Second Final Four appearance for the Auburn Tigers. Nobody wants to mention the word Virginia back in 2019. I get that. I understand it. But this is also a 32-win season. That's breaking a program record right there of that team back in 2019. This is Bruce Pearl, the 8th SEC coach to reach multiple Final Fours. Now, one of 7. Dale Brown did not record a win in the Final Four, but now he is starting to reach some rarefied air. Janai Broom is the 5th player to put up 40 points, 30 rebounds between the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 since 1975.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Like he's the National Player of the Year or something.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't have been back had it not been for NIL.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, everybody has NIL. That's not really an afterthought to me.
Tahad Pettiford is averaging 17.3 points a game in the
he
tournament.
stepped his game up since the tournament. Not like he was bad before.
Yeah.
He stepped his game up. And to me, the most important person on Auburn's team, because I don't think they beat Michigan if Denver Jones doesn't make that one shot.
I thought you were going to say Cardwell.
Cardwell, really, Denver Jones hit that 3, and they were just struggling.
Yeah.
And it was 10.5 minutes left. You know, for them, basically, to beat a team in 10, they played awful until 10.5 minutes left. And to beat them like they did, it's because they're such a good defensive team, even when they're not hitting on offense. But if you have to take it out instead of getting a rebound with them, then you're in trouble.
Well, what Florida did to Texas Tech, being down by 10 points with a little over 4 minutes left to go in that game, that's the darndest thing I've seen.
So I watched that. And, you know, Florida's not out of the game because they can hit threes. And
quickly.
They were down by 9. They hit a 3, down by 6.
Yep.
They foul a guy. He misses the front end of 101. They hit another 3, boom.
Yep.
He misses another, and then they tie it. But they still had a lot of basketball to go.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like they pulled off this miracle. They were, in my opinion, the better team. They got outplayed until the last 4 minutes of the game.
We had Clark Kellogg on Monday, and I asked him how he would reseed the Final Four. Well, Vegas has seeded it this way. Your odds-on favorite to win is Duke. That's an even right now, according to ESPN Bet. Florida's at a plus 280. Houston's at a plus 500. Auburn's at a plus 550.
Well, that tells you that Broom's hurt, in my mind. Because, listen, the middle of the season, there's no doubt who the number 1 team was, in my opinion. It was Auburn.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I thought that, you know.
I think they rattled off.
But they haven't played consistently a whole game in quite a while.
Yeah.
I mean, and they didn't have to in the last game.
No, they did not. Michigan State.
Yeah. and Broom is just, I've never seen a guy get near the ball and it's like a vacuum cleaner. It just sucks it right into him. He just passes the ball. I mean, one of the plays where he had Pettiford was sitting at the top of the key. The guy, he motions, hey, come down here so he can pass it to him. I mean, this guy's doing everything.
Yeah, I felt like he needed a cane or something. Come on down here.
Yeah,
come on down here.
Come on.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyway,
your favorites to win the most outstanding player of the Final Four, no great surprise, is Cooper Flagg at a plus 110. That is followed by Walter Clayton Jr. That is the Florida, very talented guard there at a plus 375. Janai Broom is at a plus 750. And what are some others? Pettiford's at 20-1 odds. And Knippel, if you're looking for some value, Knippel at 25-1.
He can do it.
I mean, very capable, very capable. And Emmanuel Sharp with Houston, he is very capable as well. He's also at 25-1 as well if he gets on a heater.
And both Auburn and Alabama beat them this year, correct? Yeah.
I believe that's right. Yeah, I believe that's right.
But nobody, Auburn or Alabama did not beat Florida this year.
No, they did not.
Alabama lost them twice.
That's right, and then Auburn lost to them as well. On their home court, of all places.
Well, if you remember, I talked about Florida. I'd watched them the week before, and I said, listen, they can win it all.
Yeah.
And that was, and I couldn't believe how good they looked in the game.
Were they the 3 seed or I'll have to look that up. I think they were the 2. I know.
No, I think they were the 2nd seed. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about in the SEC men's basketball tournament.
Oh yeah, no, Alabama was the 3 seed. Or they're the 4 seed.
No, you're right. Alabama was the 3 seed, so they were the 2 seed behind Auburn. Yeah. Yep. 256-576-4977, the telephone number if you'd like to participate. Florida upset Auburn. They were a 10.5-point underdog at that game at Neville earlier in the year, back on February the 8th. Todd Golden, let's see here. We know about his tie to Bruce Pearl. You'd heard about it right there. He was on his very first staff coming out of St. Mary's.
I did not know that.
You did not? And he was kind of the analyst, if you will, on that squad back in 2014. So there is a real tie there between both head coaches for the Gators and the Tigers. But what are some other facts here for you? Florida is the first team to reach the Final Four with losing against the spread record in its first 4 tournament games since 2019 Virginia. So, sorry, Auburn. I just said that V word again. So, Auburn is a very talented team.
Yeah, I think the same officials that did that game are doing this game. I read that on the internet.
You really?
Yeah.
Was that on X or was that like a legitimate story?
That's all about it's one of my buddies said.
Okay.
I don't know.
I really hope that's not the case for Auburn fans because they would go ballistic.
Well, he was an Auburn fan that wrote it. So,
well,
yeah. He had a picture.
I would like to
He
believe
had their
that's
names
not
on
gonna
there.
I would like to believe that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But
there will be no walking calls in this game.
I mentioned Duke is a 5.5-point favorite over Houston. And Houston.
What is walking? That's kind of like.
Well, traveling. It's in the eye of the beholder, especially if you talk to Colorado State fans right now.
Well, I didn't think that was walking in that thing. Did you? Was?
Well, I may have picked Colorado State too. That may influence me a little bit.
Yeah.
But I will tell you,
when they said he
please, that is just.
Is that not what the guy said though?
Yeah. Team Sterator said that there was a loose possession, and I agree to disagree right there. But that does lead me into Maryland was the team that walked. That was Queen that walked and made that bank shot against Colorado State. Well, Maryland has hired Texas A&M head coach Buzz Williams.
Talked about that yesterday
as their head coach
while you were busy, and they. I don't understand why he left, but Richard Hendricks says that's his MO. Maybe they weren't.
Well, Buzz bounces pretty good.
That's what.
Yeah.
Maybe they weren't going to give him an extension, or who knows what the thing is.
But at least there's been some blowback. Now the real concern is, where is Texas A&M going? And there was some thought that Chris Beard may be on the short list. Well, Ole Miss has at least come out and said, nope, not so much. And at least from Ole Miss, Chris Beard is not going anywhere. So there's that as well.
We talked about that yesterday too.
As well.
Because they were talking about how the we replaced that he was going, and then he was going to Texas A&M, and all the dominoes falling, and all these coaches and this or that. So we wasted 30 minutes on that yesterday. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't happen. So you know what I'm saying?
So Drew, there's your critique right there.
No, we had fun.
Well, I'm glad Drew was entertaining yesterday. All right, let's move over to the Texas Longhorns. I mean, this is your spring media darling for the spring. Everyone's going to be talking about those Longhorns. Everybody's and their brother are going to be talking about Texas this, Texas that. Just get ready. Even though we're not going to the Big D for SEC spring or the SEC football media days, it's in Atlanta, by the way, this year. It's not in Dallas.
Thank goodness.
It's going to feel like Dallas because one of the major storylines this spring is some guy named Arch Manning. And the fact that the Texas Longhorns, 13-3 last year, 7-1 in SEC play, but 2 of those 3 losses came to a single team, and that is the University of Georgia. But earlier today on the podcast, the Triple Option podcast, Urban Meyer had this to say about the gang that likes to say hook 'em.
So I'm going to hand it off to Mark. Here's what I always look at my team when I was coaching, and now what are the landmines? You look right now, the landmines there's 2 gigantic ones at Ohio State, at Georgia. Florida in the day was a landmine. It might be again. DJ Lagway is back. So I think there's 3 landmines. Other than that, I think they run it. Then obviously the rivalry game.
So that puts them at 9. So the 3 landmines, that puts them at 9.
They got to avoid one of those. I didn't say you're going to lose all 3. You come out of that one, 2-1 or 1-2. You still got double-digit wins.
Yeah.
Mark Ingram right there. What does Mark have to say on this?
I got Texas going over. I got Texas going over 9.5 wins. I'll leave Ohio State as a wash. I got them beating San Jose State, UTEP, Sam Houston, Oklahoma, Kentucky, Mississippi State, Vanderbilt. Then you have your landmine at Georgia, Arkansas, Texas A&M. I got them beating all those. Those 3 landmines, I got them winning one of those 3, and that puts them over 10 wins.
He's talking about Texas.
He's talking about the Longhorns. Yeah.
But I think, you never know. SEC.
Well, there's always that guy named Manning.
The question I have, will Arch Manning live up to the hype?
Correct.
And I remember I got so much.
What's your answer?
I think it's up in the air. I really do.
It's a coin flip?
Yeah. I got to study the personnel around him because every great quarterback has something in common, great players around him. I'm sure they do. I just don't know enough about him right now. But just the pressure on that player to be what he's supposed to be at that school.
Yeah.
And what I've seen, he's a good player. I've not seen that. I've not
losing a tight end.
I'm not seeing that.
But they got Travion Wisner coming back. He a toter tater in the back. He toast that rock.
I guess the thing when I've coached people like this, what's good enough? Is a Heisman or not Is it a national championship or bust? Last year they went 13-3. Can he do that with that schedule? I don't know. I mean,
well, it's a schedule that you can win a Heisman with. It's a schedule you can get yourself into the playoffs with all those
This
quality
cat
wins.
is a legacy, man. He's coming from a deep pedigree of people. You know, I'm big on the legacy train. Father played, won a Super Bowl. I'm big on the legacy train. What's good enough for Arch Manning is to win games. I know that through and through. He came through when Quinn Ewers was out. He came through. He won games. Did he have growing pains? Yes. But I think those growing pains that he went through this year in wins will help him tremendously moving forward when he takes the throne as the head man in week 1.
Well, so they talk a lot about offense. Defense, I'm wondering how, they lost a lot of players on defense.
Yeah.
And they lost a lot of offensive linemen as well. I think 2 of them are going to be, one of them is going to be a top round draft pick. I think the others will be in the top 3. They're going to have players, but are they going to be defense was very inconsistent last year, and they had some really good players.
Has Steve Sarkisian proven to you as an elite level coach?
Well, I mean, I think so, yes. He needs a shot caller. I mean, he needs somebody out there who says, hey, we're on the 1 yard line. Well, that's not the tush push. They want to outlaw it because it works so well in the NFL. Why wouldn't we try it?
Well, you got
the big
Arch.
You got Arch Manning.
That'd be perfect for
He
you.
had that huge offensive line.
Yeah.
You wet what we call ledge block. Everybody blocks down.
Yeah.
You step off with your inside foot. That way they can't beat you down. And you take your helmet and put it right on their kneecap or shin one. And you sit there and drive until the whistle blows. And you look up, and that ref has his hands up in the air. It's not hard. It works almost every time if you run it right. So that's what they were between playing for the national championship right there. They would have beat the team. They would have won the national championship because they would have monkey stomped Notre Dame. So
Texas visits Georgia for the first time since 1957 coming up this fall. But
that's long, yeah. Well, Texas didn't travel to the SEC now. Yeah, they talk all they want. They weren't gonna. They weren't getting on that train. They're on it now, though. So we'll see. Texas had the easiest SEC conference schedule. One of them last year.
Yeah.
They'll have to, even though they play Florida, and Florida's going. They're going to win some. They shouldn't. They're going to lose a bunch. They shouldn't. That's just the way he is.
Billy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they have it all the pieces. So
let's go ahead and take our final timeout. We're live here from Baumhower's Victory Grill. We'll talk a little basketball coming up at the top of the hour, but your phone calls are certainly welcome at 256-576-4977.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement. It's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
You don't have to go somewhere else just so you can go somewhere new. Plan your next vacation with Huntsville International Airport and Breeze Airways. Enjoy friendly, convenient, nonstop travel to some of the most exciting destinations in the U.S., including the home of 12 world-famous theme parks, Orlando, Florida. With flights starting as low as just $49, Breeze has got you covered with easy, breezy, nonstop flights to Orlando. Make all their dreams come true. Book nonstop to Orlando now at flybreeze.com.
Have you ever turned your back on God? Have you ever absolutely known the right thing to do and just turned around and walked away in disobedience? I know that I have. Aren't we thankful for our great and merciful God who loves us and forgives us and remembers our sin no more? I'm so thankful that his mercies are fresh every day. I need that, and I suspect you do too. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, and if you're looking for a church home, come see us. We're smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison, and check us out at cpcfamily.org.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Incredibly warm as we head into the overnight. Temperatures dropping into the mid and upper 60s. That's all the lower we're going to get. We're going to continue the warmth as we head into your Thursday. Partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky. Maybe a couple of rogue showers develop across the Tennessee Valley. Temperatures climbing into the low and mid 80s. Dropping into the upper 60s, lower 70s as we head into the overnight. A partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky. Friday afternoon, temperatures climbing into the low and mid 80s. We're going to do this again on Saturday. Temperatures climbing into the low and mid 80s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
We'll turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Here at Baumhower's Victory Grill, West Neighbors, Steve Moulton back here with you. Mark your calendars. 2 weeks from today, spring portal opens. 2 weeks from today, April 16th. Yep, just 2 weeks from today, and then closes on the 25th. That is a Friday, final Friday of the month, by the way, in the month of April. But there is something else around college football that is starting to gain a little bit more momentum, I'll say, Wes. And that is Dion went there, and now Mike Gundy has gone there as well, about the possibility.
So what you're telling me,
joint practices in the spring. You want to hear what's on your mind?
Well, I mean, it's not going to happen.
You don't think so?
No.
Come on, Mike Gundy.
That's something that we've talked about. I think it's a great idea. I have kind of forgot about it until it got brought up. Somebody had texted me an article or something about that, and when you read it, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, honestly, for us, we should do a home and home with OU in the spring. They have I think ours is on, I don't know what the date is, but it's a Saturday prior to the last week, something like that. Okay, so they should come here on the 19th, and I think theirs is earlier in the year. We should go down there and play a home and home in the spring against them. Charge $25 a head. They can use it for NIL. We'll use it for NIL. If they don't want to do 2 in one spring, we can do one here this year, do it there next year, and split the gate. Because we get tired of practicing against each other. It's not going to be a live game because I don't know what.
It's not going to be a live game.
Of course
why
not.
do you do it? I mean, how do you
make
keep
money?
it from,
to make money?
Who's going to go watch a non-live practice? It doesn't make any sense. It's never going to happen.
You don't think so?
No, because you don't want people to be filming your players. That's why they're not playing the spring games. So they're not going to play their opponent. No, it's not going to happen. I mean,
boy, that's 78 on that other team. Boy, I like it.
It won't be a live practice. Really? What are you doing it for?
That's gold flag football.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
This game
I mean,
before
you're taking
live
too
in front of
much-
the tapes to the audience.
Yeah, it just said it's not going to be live. Who's going to watch it? They're not going to tackle. They're not going. I mean, they don't even hardly hit in these practices. And when they do, it's controlled. And you're not going to let somebody. I mean, when you go and play an opponent, it's a different deal than playing with your buddy. I'm telling you, it's a different. You got to get to a different level. Have you ever been to an NFL practice when they?
I have.
How many fights you see?
Oh, quite a few.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, quite a few.
Yeah,
even though it was the Falcons, they were still fighting, wearing Falcon uniforms.
Yeah, I mean that's going to happen. It's almost every play.
Yeah.
So,
especially in the spring, or especially, well, I guess that would be
camp,
whatever they call it, OTAs or whatever.
Well, but that's in camp.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
They
Yeah.
go because they don't in OTAs. They don't go full speed.
Well, it's volunteer.
Yeah. Yeah, voluntary for some people.
Yeah.
Never was voluntary for me. So they had a no. I mean, they just you get after it. I mean, you get after it.
That's what you're supposed to do.
We used to. So we did 2 days in a row, and then we would fly on Sunday. We'd only practice once, but we flew from San Angelo, Texas, to Seattle, Washington.
A little different.
Got up early. Basically, you practiced, then you scrimmaged. I mean, it was fights. Then you got on a plane and flew back. So you only had to practice once that day. It's just nuts. So anyway, it was.
So you don't think this is going to happen?
No, not anytime soon. A lot of things have to change, and maybe they do change. But I don't. Out of the court, they're getting away from people being able to see your players.
Yeah. I mean, the more I'm reading about this and coaches talking about it, it makes me think it's getting realer, but I don't think it's very well thought through.
I've heard 2 coaches. Who else has talked?
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's more than 2, but Dion and Mike Gundy are 2 fairly prominent names.
Well, they can be prominent names. It'll be it's going to cost money for them to go as well. You got to get on a plane. I mean, maybe not Oklahoma. I don't know how the proximity of Oklahoma up in the state.
I don't know that either.
Yeah, but you're going to get on a plane. That costs money. And $25 isn't going to cover it.
Sports Center after this 1-minute timeout. We'll be right back.
Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock-solid, dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well-trained to save you time and money. And because we want your business again and again, no one will work harder to earn it. Our mobile service teams come to your home or business for oil changes, brake work, tire rotations, and more. And the great thing is you don't pay extra for it. We come to you with mobile service at no extra charge. Proud to be local, family-owned, and at your service for over 62 years. Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Shams Charania reports Joel Embiid of the 76ers will have arthroscopic surgery on his left knee next week. He's played only 19 games this season. There's an NBA doubleheader about to tip off on ESPN in Cleveland with the Cavaliers hosting the Knicks. That game will be followed by the Pistons and Thunder in Oklahoma City. If the Dodgers win again tonight when they host the Braves, they'll set a record for the best start by a reigning World Series champ. Right now, they're 7-0. ESPN's Tim Kirkchin.
They have one of the deepest starting rotations I've ever seen. The depth that they have to their entire team, not just the rotation, is absurd. The way they can throw a lineup out there, they are so loaded. They won the World Series last year, and they're demonstrably better right now.
Tim Kirkchin on Clinton and Friends. Baseball finals today. The Brewers beat the Royals 3-2 in 11 innings. The Cardinals smashed the Angels 12-5. Pirates with a 4-2 win over the Rays. And the Rangers shut out the Reds 1-0. ESPN's Jesse Rogers reports the Diamondbacks will sign second baseman Ketel Marte to a 6-year, $116.5 million contract extension. The Red Sox will sign rookie second baseman Christian Campbell to an 8-year extension worth $60 million. Campbell is playing in his 6th major league game tonight.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Thursday, my former head coach, John Harbaugh, recently signed an extension. I'll tell you if it actually removes him from the hot seat. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
We're live here at Baumhower's Victory Grill, and we're walking up to Braves baseball. Braves 0-6 on the year. They lost last night in Los Angeles. You heard it right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, a 3-1 loss to the Dodgers. But don't fret, Braves fans, for you longtime Braves fans, and I am one of them. The 0-6 start is not the worst in franchise modern. I love how they word these game notes here that I'm reading here from the Atlanta media and from the Atlanta notes from the Braves organization. The Braves, the franchise opened 0-10 back in 1988. The good old days, right? Anyway, Braves baseball coming up tonight. And on the subject of some numbers, how about 32? Is that a good number? How about 32 wins in a row? That is the longest winning streak in the history of the men's basketball program at the University of Alabama in Huntsville. You want some more numbers? How about most conference wins in a season? 25 of them for the UAH Chargers. We could go on. Highest scoring average, 88 point game, as Mick Hedgespeth, the first-year head coach for the Chargers, is kind enough to hop on with us. How are you, Coach?
I'm great, Steve. I miss you. This is the first time in about 6 months we've gone 2 or 3 weeks without one of these.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I'm likewise, Coach. I miss you too, because a very special season there in year one, and it took me a little bit of time to get over. I can't even imagine from your end, but congratulations on a fantastic year for you, Coach.
I certainly appreciate it. Yeah, we're still getting over it. We're still appreciating it. I think it's a little bit of a balance of being so thankful that I was able to be a part of it, as well as grieving the season ending a little bit, and not being around our guys as much has been hard, but special, historic season for sure, and it was a whole lot of fun.
How much of the tournament are you watching here over the last couple of weeks, Coach?
I've watched a good amount. It's tough with two little ones, but no, I've watched as much as I could. My bracket's actually doing okay, probably because there haven't been many upsets at all. But, no, I've tuned in quite a bit.
So I've got Houston winning it. Who do you have winning it, Coach?
I have Florida Gators winning it.
Okay.
Go Gators.
Yeah, Wes has Florida winning it as well. I'll tell you that team that Coach Golden has, that is, I don't see a whole lot of weaknesses on the Gators. What do you see, especially how they came back and beat Texas Tech, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, they made big plays when they were required. They got a little bit of help. Texas Tech missing some free throws, a couple front end of 1-and-1s, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think they have really, really good guard play, and this time of year, guard play can often carry you.
Well,
when you watch Auburn, Coach, I'm interested to hear. How do they played the worst game I've seen them play all year against Michigan, and just turn it on, and then we're lights out. I mean, how does that happen in a game where you can play that bad and then all of a sudden look like the best team in America?
Well, I think in tournament play, sometimes you're going to have those types of games, and I think you have to rely on your defense in those moments. I didn't get to catch all that game, but I know that Auburn really guarded at a high level, and that can allow you to overcome a lot of mistakes on the offensive end. And they're one of the oldest teams, if not the oldest team in the country, and kind of like us this year, when you have that and guys who have been in those moments, they just understand how to be poised in those situations and deliver when it's needed, and they've certainly done that.
Well, to that point, Coach, it did remind me a little bit of, I didn't think we exactly played our A game against Tampa, found a way to win, but then Florida Southern, bounced right back and played extremely efficient against Florida Southern.
Yeah, I think Florida Southern was maybe our most complete game of the year. I thought we really, really executed on both ends against a very good team with a ton of talent. I mean, I think Alex Steen and Jaden Booth are both in the transfer portal and going to go play high major with some of the lists I've seen of schools they're considering. Kind of like Alabama, after making 25 threes, the next game they weren't at their best, and we unfortunately didn't play our best game against Nova. Played a good game, but they're a team that kind of just makes it hard and makes everything hard, and had just some challenges that we almost overcame, but unfortunately fell a little bit short.
Yeah, Coach is talking to Mick Hedgespeth right now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, and got within one, Coach, and down 17, and then getting it within 5 at halftime. Tell me about a little bit of the halftime locker room there. You're only down 5 after being down 17. I mark that as a win, Coach.
Yeah, I think Nova are just a team that has a unique style. It's tough when it's your third game in 4 days and you don't really have time to actually practice against their style. You've got to kind of walk through and look at film and strategize and so on and so forth. But was really proud. We know that, listen, the numbers are going to bear out over 40 minutes. It's hard when they get off to that lead, but we settled in. We accustomed ourselves to their style of play and kind of regrouped and made a few minor adjustments. We're able to go into Daniel Saylor a lot against their switching, and he delivered. We were able to string together some stops and cut it to 5, and that was the message at halftime. It's the same as it always is with the numbers that we go over and a couple adjustments, but it was, hey, guys, we won the last, 12 minutes in a big way. Let's continue to do this. We've got a good formula going, and let's go continue to play this way.
Well, I
didn't even notice.
Have you
I'll
seen
put it on. Hold
the
on.
film of that last game for your first season at UAH, Coach?
I've thought about it a lot, but I have not watched it yet. I was going to let the grieving period settle a little bit more before I do so, but I'll probably watch it the next couple weeks.
I think I kind of, because honestly, Coach, it was hard enough for me to watch the Elite Eight game and then the national championship game. Did you watch any of that? And especially how the game ended for Nova against Cal State?
I did. I tuned into most of the Elite Eight game, and then I watched the last 8 minutes or so of the national title game. And I'm so happy, for Nova. They're certainly a very good team, and they make a lot of winning plays. And I did. It's an odd kind of mixed emotion deal because on one hand, we only lost to the national champions this year, and that's pretty good. I think we all would have signed up for 32-2 and Sweet 16, and only losing to the national champion by a total of 8 points. I think we all would have jumped at that before the season started. But then on the other hand, we know how close we were, and you don't know how many chances you'll get at a potential national championship. So that part is hard.
Well, and the portal is obviously very real. You've mentioned it already. You're talking with you. Considering who's leaving and just out of eligibility on your team, how important is the portal this cycle for you right now, Coach?
It's important. We have had our postseason meetings. There's been a lot of conversations the last couple weeks and trying to construct our roster, and now we're bringing in potential transfer visits out of the portal. So we will probably bring in 4 or 5 transfers, just because we do lose, right at 90% of our scoring. So there are some big shoes to fill, but I'm excited about adding some pieces and filling some of those gaps, as well as some of our younger guys stepping up and next man up mentality and taking on a bigger role. So it will be a little bit different with so many new guys as opposed to last year returning almost everyone. But I think that even though there will be some challenges, it's also an exciting time of opportunity as well.
Well, one guy in particular who grew quite a bit, this is not going to shock you at all. The name I'm mentioning, Matt Thurman, he grew immensely, and I'm excited to see where what is the next step, you think, for Matt Thurman?
I think just to step into his new role of being a senior leader, taking on a little bit of a bigger role on the floor, and continuing to just play to his strengths. I mean, we all know how well he can shoot the basketball. He actually led us in three-point field goal percentage this year, and we had some other really, really good shooters on the team. And he also took a high volume of shots. He delivered in some big moments this year. I think about our conference championship game against Valdosta. He was really big early. I believe against Tampa, he was really big early in that NCAA tournament game.
Absolutely.
So I think it's continuing to shoot it, as well as continue to use his size and his strength. He's 6'7", he's strong, to be able to add some rim pressure, which he was able to do quite a bit this year. Even though it's a little unorthodox, it's really effective, and he has great touch in those situations. So just to continue to lead us and continue to gain confidence in who he is as a player and a leader.
Well, I've been calling UAH basketball for a minute and been around the game of basketball since middle school, if not before. And this is the first for me, Coach, of a 32-game winning streak and that the team really felt like a team, because usually I find some clicks here and there, but this team was uniquely different from my point of view. How about from your playing days to your coaching days? How will you remember this team, Coach?
Boy, they're at the top of the list, and I've been a part of some special teams. Probably as a player, definitely as a player, it's my favorite team I've ever been a part of. My junior year at Belmont, we went 30-5. No one played more than 25 minutes a game. No one averaged more than 12 points a game. I think we had 11 people play double-figure minutes, and it was the truest team I've ever been a part of. And we all sacrificed maybe having a little bit of a bigger role for team success, and it was totally worth it. And arguably the best year in school history. My first year at Berry, we went 25-3. It was a really special team, and then this year, certainly, none of us had ever won 32 games in a row. And the way that we did it, our biggest issue this year is we had a player show up 4 minutes late to a film session. That was the only off-the-court issue we had. So our guys carried over a 3.5 GPA as a team, and they were just really, really good people, and obviously some really good players. And what gets maybe covered a little bit in that 32-game win streak. There were 5 games or so that could have easily gone the other way. That we had some guys step up and make some huge plays and allow us to keep it going. So it was a really, really special, historic. Unique. I could use many other adjectives to describe this group, but I love the team. I mean, it was unbelievable, and I think we all expected almost to have a good team, but I don't know that any of us expected that. It was a lot of fun.
Coach, if you were expecting that, just give me a heads up for the next go around on that one, because I was expecting this to be a good team, but not 32 in a row. That was uniquely special, but I know with your assistants as well, Josh Henschel and Alex Maston as well, of the entire team. If you could speak to your assistants in particular on what they brought to the table for your first year here at UAH, Coach.
They brought so much. It's hard as an entirely new staff, especially with a veteran group who's had a lot of success doing things the way that they've done it here, and we continue to do a lot of those. We would be foolish to change that recipe, but we also tweaked a couple things. But no, both of those guys are just incredibly high character. They're hardworking. They're phenomenal with our players and developing and cultivating those relationships, which was needed in a big way early on. And then, the old saying, good work gets rewarded with more work. I just immediately started to gain trust in those guys, and we continued to just give them a little bit of a bigger and bigger role because they could handle it, and they did a good job over and over, and just proved that that they can really add, whether that's to scouting, whether that's to the defensive side of the ball, whether that's to individual skill development, all of the logistics and operations. Recruiting, they're rock stars, and they have a bright future ahead in their career. So I'm very thankful and grateful that we were able to put this staff together.
Well, speaking of bright futures, I'm talking to somebody right now, and you are already with a winning percentage, Wes, of 77% is Mick Hedgesmith with 112 wins and 33 losses on your resume there, Coach. So it's when did you want to be a head coach? When did you have that desire to be a head coach?
To be totally honest, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I majored in accounting. I thought it was I liked numbers and business, and thought it would be a marketable degree. When I was over in Spain, I had a lot of time to kind of self-reflect and think about what I wanted to do, and I felt like I may want to coach, and it may fit my personality and some of my strengths. But I knew that coaching is even though it's a great profession, it can be a hard business. You may have to move around a lot. You have to pay your dues financially and in other ways, maybe more than in some other industries. So I came back and worked a business job in Nashville for about 10 months and learned what I did not want to do, and took about an 80% pay cut and moved to Williamstown, Massachusetts to start my coaching journey. And that was 11 years ago, and it's been a heck of a ride. But yeah, I would say kind of when I was playing professionally over in Spain, that's when I started feeling the itch to coach.
Well, basketball is a big part of this community here in North Alabama, and I know basketball camps are coming up as well. And I know that's a couple of months away, but nonetheless, it's I'm sure on a lot of parents' minds right now with those basketball camps coming up for you, Coach.
Yeah, camps are a staple of our program. They have been a long time. I grew up coming to UAH camps, both elite camps and kids camp. And I was really surprised. You know, we're focusing on the season first, second week of January, and I start getting 20, 25 emails from parents saying, winter camps. We want to, you know, we got our new calendar for Christmas. We need to figure out camp dates. So I had to figure those out pretty quickly. We have 3 weeks of kids camp. We have 2 one-day elite camps. We have a 2-day team camp for high schools, including varsity, JV, and freshman teams. All of those are on our website. It's MickHedgepethBasketballCamps.com, but also you can just go to UAH men's basketball and click the camps link, and it will take you to all those dates and details and how to register. We already have a high number of kids campers, especially for our for a couple of those weeks. So spots are filling up quick.
Well, I can't help but at least end with, since we started with a little Final Four talk, who you got cutting down the nets on Monday night, Coach? I'm putting you on the spot.
Even though I picked Florida, I think I have Duke after watching them a little bit closer. They are just so talented and well coached. It wouldn't shock me if any of the 4 teams win. If Houston continues to hold teams to 15 points and a half, they'll win. But I think Duke will get it done.
Coach, I can't thank you enough for the time, and a special season there. Hopefully many more to come there on the campus of UAH. And thank you so much for hopping on, Coach.
Thanks so much for the coverage. Appreciate you guys. Talk soon.
Absolutely. That is Mick Hedgepeth. And again, it's Mick.
What a great year. Right?
Basketballcamps.com. But the easier way, if you can't spell Hedgepeth, the easier way is UAHChargers.com. Click on the basketball link, and it's right there. So I would, if you are a father or a mother of a high-level basketball player, I would highly encourage Mick Hedgepeth. He knows what he's doing.
You certainly can do a lot worse than Coach Hedgepeth. I mean, just look at look at his first year, his first season, and just taking it that far. Yeah, you need to know what secret sauce he's cooking.
Well, there were a couple.
He kind of explained it.
Yeah, he does.
People that win, they win every year.
Yeah,
it's a habit to them. They know how to do it.
Well, that's why I went with his winning percentage of 77.2%, 112 and 33. I mean, this is not by accident.
No, that's it doesn't happen by accident.
I mean, 32 wins was special.
So he was talking about some guys entering in the transfer portal. Is that his players from this year?
Well, no. So we're losing a lot off of this team.
Right.
So he's having to go into the transfer portal to grab some players with a bit more of experience rather than just the green guys coming right out of high school.
Which is what you have to do to win. Yeah.
32-2. I mean, it was a very special season. And some other numbers. How about Daniel Saylor? He went 12 of 13 against Delta State. Field goal percentage-wise, it's 92%. Pretty good. Tommy Murr was 12 for 12 at the free throw line against Valdosta State.
That's hard to do if nobody's out there.
So, yeah. Points in a season. Tommy Murr, second overall in school history with 688 points. Blake Campbell, 13th in school history at 578 points. And then Luke Burnett at 502 points on the season. That's 32nd in school history. All those guys are gone. So there's a lot to replace. There is a lot to replace there over at UAH.
Yeah,
but
so you know how you find out. That's when you find out
is
how
this,
good a coach
yeah,
you are, right?
Is this when we're going to find out?
Yeah, because you don't want them to say, "Well, he was good the first year." They forget quick, don't they?
I wonder if supporters and fans need to remind themselves how often that the school has even won 30 games, and the answer is one, and it just happened this past season. So this was a very special year.
I remember when you won 20 games, you were automatically in the tournament.
That's right.
Didn't matter who you played. You won 20, you're in there.
And I have yet to look at the schedule, but I know the crossover. We're in a Sunshine GSE crossover with Nova and Barry, and Nova hosts it this fall with us in Montevallo. So chances are we're going to start the season where we ended it, and that's at Nova. And their point guard is coming back too. So Dallas Graziani. My favorite was them listing him as a junior, and because there was some not everything transferred when he went to Samford for that 1 year, so he was technically a junior, but I had a lot of fun with Dallas Graziani calling him a junior down in Fort Lauderdale. But anyway, he'll be back as well. Final 30 minutes belong to you, as well as a few more sound bites from Kirby Smart. Said something about the NCAA house ruling that is coming up next week that I've got for you on the other side.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspection. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at JetSuperstore.com.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pro trusts SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed is every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
You don't have to go somewhere else just so you can go somewhere new. Plan your next vacation with Huntsville International Airport and Breeze Airways. Enjoy friendly, convenient, nonstop travel to some of the most exciting destinations in the U.S., including the home of 12 world-famous theme parks, Orlando, Florida. With flights starting as low as just $49, Breeze has got you covered with easy, breezy, nonstop flights to Orlando. Make all their dreams come true. Book nonstop to Orlando now at flybreeze.com.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at jetsuperstore.com.
The Bass Pro Shop's Red Crest Championship Outdoor Expo will be at the Von Braun Center April 4th, 5th, and 6th in conjunction with the MLF Red Crest Championship on Lake Guntersville. The Outdoor Expo will be open from 11 to 6:30 daily, and the first 200 kids 14 and under on Saturday will receive a free Abu Garcia rod and reel, courtesy of WHNT News 19. There will be hourly giveaways, tackle and boat deals, seminars, and a chance to meet the pros. And it's free of charge. The Bass Pro Shop's Red Crest Championship Outdoor Expo, April 4th through 6th at the BBC.
You know, this process is all about talking ball.
Listen to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond.
What did they want privacy for? To just start talking ball.
Every weekday morning, wake up with Scott and Drew. It's Talkin' Ball. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
They say that.
Back here at Baumhower's Victory Grill, along with Wes Neighbors. Steve Moulton back here with you. 256-576-4977, the telephone number. If you haven't, you need to download our apps. And yes, I said that plural. 977 ESPN in your Google Marketplace or your Apple Store. Same as well with Talk Radio, WCCN, that's our HD.2 channel, because baseball season is here and the Trash Pandas fire up the day after tomorrow.
We are 48 hours away from Trash Pandas baseball.
I believe the Lookouts are coming.
The Chattanooga
right
Lookouts through Sunday. Fireworks Friday night and Saturday night. And then they're off Monday, like they normally are. And then Knoxville comes in for the week.
There you go. I mean,
lots of good stuff coming out too. John Abraham needs to be aware. There's Anime Night on Thursday.
There it is. Those boys have been talking way too much anime in the morning.
Well, you know, they.
But I mean, you know,
they're reaching their target.
Yeah, no, it's certainly not me. But
okay, guys, I got to ask. I'm putting together my tech out order from Baumhower. What do you have in mind?
So this is where lately I've been going black and white.
Always a good choice.
The wings, the Raging Cajun, mild is how I go.
Oh, yeah.
But I think I'm going to go black and white tonight. I know where you went.
So, yeah, black and white, the black and white salad went with that. But I always get a side cheeseburger.
Yeah, just a plain cheeseburger.
Just a burger.
An appetizer to make you more hungry?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I get it all at the same time.
Yeah.
So, but it's a salad, the black and white salad, hard to beat with the little cheeseburger appetizer.
There's nothing wrong.
I love it.
And I'm gonna tell you, one of the best cheeseburgers I've ever had. Every time. So the food is so consistent.
Yeah.
It's very good and very consistently good.
Yes.
And they work really hard to do that at all of their locations.
Everything's fresh here.
You know that any Baumhowers you walk into, it's going to be excellent, just without peer at everyone you walk into.
They've been doing it a long time.
Yes, they have.
And they really work at it. I've been to the
81, I believe it was the first one.
They meet, and then they meet, they go there, they cook, they fry it. I mean, it's amazing. If you ever have a chance to go down to their facility down there, it's really.
I would also highly recommend doing a show with Bob Baumhower in Tuscaloosa and him making wings for us to eat.
How long ago that
was a while ago. That was a good long while ago, but very memorable.
You need to bring it back?
Yeah.
You need a field producer?
They had to. Here we go again.
Mm-hmm.
No, but the peanut butter and
Peanut
jelly
butter and
wings.
jelly wings, yes.
Is that's not still on the menu?
I don't think so.
But they were good.
They really were. I mean,
that's really nice. They could do it.
Initially, I know that kind of sounds but they were really good.
I mean, I was like, I don't like that kind of food, but I couldn't believe how good they were.
Oh, no. One of the best barbecue sauces I ever had, one of the ingredients is grape jelly. And it's just, man. It's fantastic.
Yeah, like those meatballs. That's what they
the little meatballs, the little cocktail sausages.
Yeah, it has
little smokies.
Grape jelly. Yeah.
Yeah, grape jelly.
Grape jelly.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, we used to do pulled pork with that sauce.
All right, for some more goodies.
You made me hungry again.
Yeah, seriously, I'm getting hungry again.
I'm thinking that black and white salad's going in the cart here.
Yeah.
256-576-4977. The telephone number, something that we have kept an eye on, and we're finally creeping up closer to it, is the NCAA House settlement involving a significant legal agreement to resolve major lawsuits involving the House versus the NCAA. The settlement has received its preliminary approval. The final approval hearing is scheduled for Monday. That'd be April 7th. This agreement aims to reshape college athletics, potentially impacting athlete compensation and revenue sharing models. We were first a couple of years ago down at the spring meetings, but last spring there was real talk on a real number of close to 22 million as the real number. Well, Kirby Smart spoke about this House settlement and maybe some repercussions.
We've talked about the House settlement. The biggest thing going on is you got two dates you're operating off of. There's a portal date, there's a House settlement date, and there's a lot of people doing they're not illegal things. They're just manipulative money things to try to move this, move that, so I can free up this. And what's going to happen? There's probably going to be a bubble or a spike, and then agents are literally trying to take advantage of that every minute they can. They want to get all they can for their client, but at the end of the day, it may backfire because there's going to be a correction in the market at some point when this cap hits. If the cap is truly what the House settlement wants it to be, if there is truly a cap, if you just keep trying to front load and pay out people, and what's going on in basketball now and football now, people are trying to beat a date, then what's going to happen when those people expect that same money the next year and it's not there because you're in a cap? Like, there's going to be a correction eventually, and I don't think any of us know what's going to happen.
There you go. I mean, think about last year when I feel like we broke this when it was coming at media days.
Yeah.
Think about
the spring meetings.
Not media days.
Yeah.
Think about how many's just changed. I mean, first it said there weren't going to be any walk-ons by the spring. That's not happening.
Yep, that's right.
Although
the reaction to that was
and then now they're saying, well, no, we might have 105
before game one.
Before
game one.
Yeah.
And buy that as well?
Well, who in the world is going to go down there and scrimmage for 3 weeks and then be kicked off the team?
Thank you.
I don't know.
Who's going to sign up for that?
Not me. I'm sure there are people out there, but not quality people. And then your football career is over. If that's the case, your school at Georgia.
Yeah.
And, I'm going to practice. I mean, you can't. I mean, I'm sure you can get volunteers, but they're not going to be athletes.
For those that may be tuning in now, wondering what we're talking about, Kirby Smart was asked this yesterday. We played it in the first segment right out of the gate.
But the hard cap 105, I assume, is going to be in play by the fall. But what is that doing to you guys' process even right now? Because, I'm sure you're going to have to get under the number. And what kind of difficulties is that going to do to how you guys practice around here?
Yeah, that's up in the air. I'm not sure 100% that we have to get to 105 by fall camp. As we understand it, it's going to be by the first game, which is a big difference. So we would be able to practice camp like we want to. I think everybody's got to take a big pause right now and say deep breath, because of what's going on with basketball right now is crazy. And we don't know everything that's going to come out with April 7th, which might be April 7th, we might be the settlement date where we get a lot more information. But everybody's on pins and needles because we don't know exactly what's going to come out of this. What I do know is that we're going to continue to recruit people who love football, who are passionate about football, and that don't put money as the number one answer. Like, I've never met a really good player that's all they cared about. So, like, the 105 number, the NIL number, what's the cap number, what is this going to be? There's stuff going on right now, guys, in college football. I mean, there's people reaching out to have a Zoom call and present all the players they represent that are on teams, including our teams. And they want to invite people to the Zoom so they can watch and see who's going in the portal or shopping who's in the portal before the portal. Do you want to get on the Zoom and look at all these players? I'm like, well, what if some of them are mine? I mean, it could be one of the most legendary, moments in all of college sports with what's coming up on this ruling and how people are going to try to manipulate a cap when all we're trying to do is make for competitive balance. And it's really unfortunate that I don't know if competitive balance is going to come out of it. I don't know if the kids win in this model that we currently have, if they win long term. Like long term, when we have to cut sports and cut other things, are the kids going to be the winners of this? I don't know. College sports been around a long time and given many an opportunity. And by all means, I want these kids to make money. But what's going on right now is not good for them.
Yeah.
Those are facts.
Yeah.
But with what Kirby first started talking about, I mean, the question was in regards to 105. That's been the number that, frankly, that we talked about down in Sandestin. And the idea that you're going to go to camp with 120 some odd kids and then roll it back to 105 for game one sounds ridiculous to me.
Yeah, I know. Well, they got up to 135 is what the last number was.
Yeah. Well, I was 120s like.
Well, the old number.
Yeah.
At one time it was 115, then they went to 120, then went to 135. In different increments, that might be exact increments, but now they're going to go back down to 105, and because of NIL, the way it's done, having many on, pretty much all of them can be on scholarship or somebody else paying for them to go to school or whatever. It's changed so much so fast, and then you got these guys taking advantage taking advantage of these players. They charge them up to, I've heard 20%. I've heard higher. Hey, I can get you a deal with here, but I want this and that. It's just and
maybe this will at least put up some guardrails.
Well, I would like to. What I'd like to see is I don't mind the kids having an agent if they're actually doing something. Like, for example, like getting them a true NIL deal, not from the schools. What they're doing is just pimping them out to the schools is what's happening now. Anybody can do that. It doesn't take much of a rocket scientist to do that. Actually, bring some value added. Bring the Dr. Pepper commercial. Mm-hmm. So that's what you need, representation.
Yeah,
and that kind of feel.
National ad campaign.
Right. Well, any kind of ad campaign gets you money. Doesn't matter if it's national, local, or regional.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And there's some of that everywhere. Okay. But these actual contracts, to me, it should be something based on what you've done.
Was told that.
In other words, if you're this kind of recruit, you get this kind of money. Of course, quarterbacks can get money, this or that. Then if you're a starter, you get this. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
actually,
I was told that Ryan Williams is doing an ad campaign this fall for Baumhower.
He is.
And
I remember when they went to meet with him. That had they were very impressed by him. So, yeah.
He had Auburn losing in the first round. And Alabama State, was very competitive there in the first half. Anyway. But, I mean, I'm sure most Bama fans will be like, yeah, that's our guy.
I guarantee he's not the only one.
Yeah, that's our guy. But course, congratulations to Bruce Pearl and the Auburn Tigers making it back. And, of course, Chaney Johnson being a part of that roster as well. Of course, played his first 2 years of collegiate basketball at UAH and is a big part of the program there for the Auburn Tigers. And certainly rooting for Chaney.
No
in a big
doubt.
way.
You know, I don't think he's played as good as he did in the middle of the season either.
Yeah.
But, you know, that could change. I mean, basketball's a funny thing. And you know, they figure out what you do good, they try to take it away from you. Then you gotta adjust. That's every sport, every position. It's always, you know, they're going to try to take away something, do something new, especially when they watch the tape and say, "Oh, look, he's going to do this every." I mean, once they get enough tape on you and you're doing well, they're going to try to figure out how to stop you.
Also talked in the first hour about a professional flag football league, and they're trying to coordinate it with the 2028 Olympics because it is an Olympic sport coming up in 2028. And so much so that the commissioner of the National Football League was asked about athletes in the NFL wanting to participate in the summer games of 28. To which evidently there is a groundswell of a lot of talented NFL players who don't want to go through camp and want to wear the team jersey for Team USA. I do wonder how the NFL is going to attack this coming up in 28 because players, they want to play some flag football.
Yeah, well, I've heard directly from a lot of players who want to participate and represent their country, whether it's the United States or the country that they came from, to have them participate in that. And I think that's something that we'll continue the discussions with not just the union, but also the clubs. I think both of those are things that we'll probably resolve sometime in the next 60 days.
When are the Olympics?
2028.
Got that.
Los Angeles.
What's the day?
I would assume it's usually like late July into early August. That's historically been the dates of the summer games. I'll give you the exact dates, hopefully, here in a second. But
it's like 2 weeks, right?
And it can start July 14th and run through July 30th.
That's 16 days.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to go through a camp and instead play some flag football?
Camp starts to
You know there's a flag football team here in town, right?
What's that?
You know there's a flag football team here in town, right? Joe, our own Joe Hunt went and called it one time.
You called it?
Yeah.
Well, I've called some high school flag football here in town,
right?
Because we've got plenty of high school flag football with Huntsville and Grissom, and Sparkman's got a team as well, and those are the ones that I can think of right off the top of my head. But yeah, and flag football is growing, but flag football, professional flag football, some would argue that the NFL is heading in that direction all by itself.
I'm worried about this. I can't believe how much he kind of gave away what he feels like about the tush push. I would have to see one person get hurt in the tush push. There's no way.
But let's back up to kickoff, right?
Yeah.
We want more kickoffs, but no tush push.
Well, here's the thing. You play football, you're going to get hurt.
Yep. So something else that you've been talking about quite a bit is happening in the National Football League. Not yet on the collegiate level, and I will have you know, I did text Steve Shaw about this, but it is in regards to basically someone looking at all the plays. It's called an NFL replay assistant. Mike Florio spoke on it, and I'll let you hear what Mike had to say on it on the other side of our final timeout. They're
going to pay me to watch the game. You say.
Mash your button. You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Now is the time to sign up for the Eagle Installation WZZN Charity Golf Tournament to benefit the Make-A-Wish Foundation. This year's event is the morning of April 21st at Cherokee Ridge, and each member of the winning team not only gets the championship belt, but a full year membership to Cherokee Ridge. Breakfast and lunch are provided, plus tremendous prizes and a chance to win $100,000. Cost is $800 a team or $200 per individual, and corporate sponsorships are available. Send an email to 977WZZNevents@gmail.com to reserve your spot today.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, Managing Partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia if you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
Our customers want best-in-class solutions. That's why we recently added many new vendors like Zebra Barcode Printer. Our next level team has added premier automation solutions. We're not here to sell you just one product, and we love helping you find the right solution for your specific need. That's what doing the right thing is all about, and that's why our customers have come back for over 50 years.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list and maybe a little scary. But it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at jetsuperstore.com.
It's laundry season at Owen Home Appliance Center. Tired of that washer walking out the door and having to dry a load 2 or 3 times? It's time for a new washer and dryer. Pick from brands like Maytag, GE, Whirlpool, Electrolux, and of course, Speed Queen. Try the new 2-in-1 GE Profile that washes and dries a load all in one machine. Visit the interactive location in Lacey Springs where you can try the washers and dryers before you buy them. Owen Home Appliance Center. Quality products, quality pricing, quality service. It's in the name, Owen Home Appliance Center.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Incredibly warm as we head into the overnight. Temperatures dropping into the mid and upper 60s. That's all the lower we're going to get. We're going to continue the warmth as we head into your Thursday. Partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky. Maybe a couple of rogue showers develop across the Tennessee Valley. Temperatures climbing into the low and mid 80s. Dropping into the upper 60s, lower 70s as we head into the overnight. A partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky. Friday afternoon, temperatures climbing into the low and mid 80s. We're going to do this again on Saturday. Temperatures climbing into the low and mid 80s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Never miss a second of Huntsville Havoc hockey.
McCabe with the tap in as the Ice Bears are now in the double digits in consecutive losses.
Havoc Zone, only on 97.7 ESPN.com and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
Final call for phone calls. Walking up the Braves baseball. Looking to go 0-7, baby. Come on now. Let's see if the Braves can roll a perfect 0-7 right out of the gate here.
Yeah, it sounded like I listened to them when they lost the fourth one.
Yeah.
It sounded like they were at somebody's funeral. They were so negative. It was
Oh,
crazy.
really?
Oh, yeah, it was bad.
Well, I texted Ben Ingram to come on and he said, "I've got nothing to talk about."
Really? Tell me, it might change his luck.
I said, Ben, come on now. It's April started yesterday.
Why are they doing so bad?
Well, they're not fully healthy, 100%. They're not fully. Some guy named Ronald Acuna Jr. is not coming back till May, and another guy that we got from the Padres and Jurickson Profar tested and popped positive for PEDs, so he's suspended for 80 games as well. They were leaning a lot on him as well right out of the gate there. So I wanted to get this in. The National Football League, they certainly did table the tush push and are going to gather more information for their next meetings, which comes up in May. But some of the things that were improved include a 1 year, where is this? Sony's Hawkeye technology will be used by the Football League as a primary method for measuring the line to gain, meaning that the sticks are no longer the sticks in the National Football League.
Well, after last year,
but there is also the state-of-the-art program here with the Sony's Hawkeye, as it's mentioned several times here from this National Football release, is also an NFL replay assistant. Yeah, assisting replay to get more calls right moving forward. Mike Florio, the floor is yours.
I like it, but I don't like what they've done. I don't like this discrepancy between we'll use replay assist to determine whether or not to pick up a flag that was thrown that shouldn't have been thrown. For example, horse collar tackle, they throw the flag, they look at it, clear and obvious evidence, there was no horse collar tackle, you pick up the flag. But face mask, Sam Darnold getting the Linda Blair treatment from The Exorcist on that Thursday night against the Rams. The referee didn't see it, the umpire didn't see it, and we got the explanation, well, they're down there, they can't see everything. Okay, fine. But replay sees it, we all see it. Oh, but we're not going to put a flag on the field? That to me doesn't solve the problem. There's still this donut hole in the gap between what the officials see on the field and what we see at home. And the excuse, like we don't want to officiate the game from the booth, they're already doing that. We don't want to it's a non-starter to put a flag down. You've had for years the ability to use replay to put a flag down for 12 men on the field. So I don't like it. I think it's a half measure. I think it's going to cause more problems. And hopefully next year they'll realize we need to go ahead and use it for, if there is or isn't, or was or wasn't, for just a narrow handful of plays where we can all see that the foul did or didn't happen.
So that's the
shot caller. I like my idea. It's really easy. It's not a big deal. Just the obvious plays. He's right. That you can see on TV the obvious plays.
So the replay assistant feels like it is gaining more momentum in the National Football League. And then who knows? There might be a penalty box somewhere
that's
coming
in college
up.
Football.
I was going to college football.
Yeah. So, that needs to be the Neighbors Wealth Management penalty box.
Penalty box.
It's not really the penalty box.
Yeah, for those that flop.
The floppy guys, they have to set 5 minutes before they come back in the game.
But it's got to be 5 minutes of game time, not real time.
Yeah,
5 minutes
you
of
want to go
game
down,
time.
you want on defense, you want it to be on fourth down. So at least the offense has a chance to be out there. But I mean, that's only for safety concerns, Steve.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
We don't want them to be
of
playing
course. Strictly safety reasons.
Yes, no doubt.
Well, we're always thinking safety first here on the drive.
Absolutely.
Roger Goodell was also asked about reseeding in the playoffs, as that was tabled as well. The idea that if you win your division, you don't automatically get to host a playoff game.
I thought it was a very healthy proposal and a very healthy point that we need to evaluate and continue to look at.
Come on, Roger.
It went through many different forms. There was some great data to show that we should really look at some form of this or some version of this. But there was also a really strong point of view that winning the division was the number one thing, that when you come into training camp, that's the goal. win that division first. And should the reward for winning that division be you're in the playoffs and a home game? There was some discussion potentially about, if you were 500 or less and you won that division, should you also get the home game?
He's a mealy mouth. I just don't like it.
Every time I play anything from Roger Goodell, I get this look from you like,
well, I mean, they act like he's just great or something. But he, when he started, there used to be 6 channels, and now there's 400, and the NFL's on all of them. But is the game? I mean, do you enjoy the NFL now versus what you used to?
No, I don't. I mean, I'm more of a college football. I've always been more of a college football fan.
I used to watch.
I used to watch a ton of NFL.
Monday Night Football, I'd stay up all night watching every game, just see what they said. Now I haven't watched the Monday night game. I don't know when. You don't want to watch it. I mean, the officiating's horrible as well.
Talk to you tomorrow.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. Your home of the Crimson Tide Sports Network.